Toastmaster just mentioned about my participation in building Toastmasters, I felt very nostalgic. It was a moment of time wherein not everybody was willing to work. Not everybody was wanting to get out of their shell. Not everybody was wanting to go and build clubs. You must be wondering why it took so many years before we became a district. I was so inspired when I saw different Toastmasters wanting to learn, wanting to know more, wanting to have something that cannot be taken away from them. As an only child, I felt that sharing exactly my time, my talent, and even if I had a little treasure in my life, it was there for me to share. There was no selfishness. It was an unrelenting effort that I extended because I wanted to make a difference in the lives of other people. I wanted, truly want, to see people how they can enhance and develop themselves and make it better, something for themselves, that they will succeed in the endeavors that they have planned for their lives. I was alone, and the distinguished Toastmaster just knew that. I traveled when Toastmasters International said we need 6 Toastmasters Club for District 75 to be a district. I went on my way. And for records, for you to believe, Gabby went to my house last Sunday and I showed him all the records. I was the only district governor that opted to divide District 75 into 2. I wanted District 75 to be Luzon. I wanted District 76 to be Visayas and Mindanao. What was the reason for that? If we were divided, I saw the tremendous growth and success of Toastmasters International. It's easier for Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, Luzon to concentrate exactly only in Luzon. Visayas and Mindanao can be together and they can travel around. Imagine Luzon going to Visayas and Mindanao, and so vice versa, with Visayas and Mindanao coming from Manila. How? By plane, by air, by bus. And that particular thought of mine gave me the inspiration. And I said, how could I make these people build clubs? I even opted to have to those who have not studied, who could not speak English. In fact, Nona Ricaport was under me before she became the Commissioner on Higher Education. I organized 5 Toastmasters Club for her. And I told her, since you are with the higher education, why don't you make Toastmasters manual in Tagalog, and then we can help the people who are poor, who cannot read and write, but here we are willing to teach them. It was an outreach program. It was something that we would want to give not only to those who are educated, highly educated, and here you are with us. Some are lawyers, doctors. We have here Dr. Vicente. We have lawyers. We have 2 doctors in our company. We have commissioners. We have professors of different talents. And yet, you are wanting to learn more. What more of these people who are less fortunate and cannot afford? It has been in Toastmaster, in Tamaraw more particularly. We help those who cannot afford. We don't subsidize only, but we for them because we want them to learn. We don't ask donations, we don't. For those who can afford your sponsor, well and good. For those who cannot afford, help. But they are with us. It is not a selective organization. It is a club wanting to invite people to make a difference in their lives. I was one of those. I was telling here, Ernie, I said when Jess was saying that I wanted to cry, it is not a joke to be traveling a journey of success, not for myself, but for other people. To me, I keep on saying, make Toastmasters a way of life. It is a give and take. For those who cannot afford, they can give their services, and for those who have the treasure, they can share. This is the law that I have practiced in my life. I am not rich, but if I have this little thing in my head, but with it, it was filled with this one that I have in my heart. And this is exactly, my dear friends, how I felt that each and every one of you, I keep on telling over and over and over again, don't you ever take your Toastmasters for granted. Be sure when you are there, you have a purpose. You have an obligation. It is your responsibility to be committed. And that responsibility of yours must not be taken for granted. Give time. That time comes in always and always and always, over and over and over with me. Because I do not believe, I keep on saying, I do not believe, for somebody will tell me, I do not have time. My dear friends, if you and I and all of us did not want to give time, we will not all be here. We will not be joining your company. We will not be enjoying your friendship. But much more what we needed was the love you have for each and every one, and much more, because we belong to one great family, the Toastmaster. Good evening.